Good morning all. Welcome to the breakfast show. It's Wednesday, February 16 and we are here with you. And I think many of you would have known last night we have the withdrawal of the Russian front likelihood to invade Ukraine. That's right. We all been tricked by President Biden when we think the war was going to loom over the weekend. Remember, we talked about it last Friday and also on Monday. But guess what? All this was just a dare you scare tactic that was put on by Biden. Does this show that Biden is still working on its move? They're saying that, look, the threat from Ukraine is likely, but we have seen in the market and also the weeks retreated. And on top of that, all prices have dropped significantly, and this morning we saw also CPO prices is likely to drop at 10:30 when it's open, and right now the KLCI already hit new high, at least for the next 2 months. Is it by coincidence? What do you think? Let me know and type it in your comment. Now, a lot of time, good news, the market tend to hit resistance. This is where we are. So let's take a look at what we have for you this morning in our breakfast show. Of course, this morning we'll be talking about trading ideas for SMARTRobie. As you can see on top of me here is the KLCI. And also the foreign funds has decided to come in plentiful in here, right? And also we have the banks also turning green Pentagon, and this is the Pentagon guided UOB top pick analyst watch list. You can see the last round on the left hand side. Just log into our website. You can see 11 of February. I bet you don't know there is a Robie chart underneath here. Click on the plus and you can see this is another Robie chart in here. You can also close it back and click on CIMB. That's always Robie chart available up for you on that part. So make sure you share that with your friends so they will be able to know how to use the Robie chart, at least to enhance their performance in here. All right, and let's take a look at the relative sector that is still positive is energy and plantation. Now take note, if we are likely to see resistance and reversal coming into the KLCI this week is because we have good news, and good news, we all know smart money will always do their move, isn't it? And this is why it's important to understand price and volume, and we are going to be showcasing to you, for those of you who sign up this weekend, that's right, on Friday night we'll be showcasing our masterclass for our February intake. And not to forget, March 12th is our big event, our market conference, Trade VSA, YCOF VSA, the new path to stock analysis. So make sure you sign up for our market conference, and it's absolutely free. All you have to do is activate the monthly pass on your SMARTRobie, and if you are already a member, you are welcome to attend, none of the charge. Okay, so let's take a look at what we have for you this morning. Okay, and switching out to here, and let's move on to our wider chart. All right, now for our new roundup this morning in here, first and foremost is the news of the foreign fund. That's right, the foreign fund, you can see on top of me there, they are back. So it's no surprises. As you know, in Trade VSA we track this on the day-to-day basis, and you can check it out on our website. They're coming in here, and of course the top 3 buys. Okay, let's take a look. The first top 3 buys that did mention, right, were press metal. So check out press metal in here, log in, and you can type in P metal. Okay, look at the charts. Okay, you can see P metal is heading sky high, and this is also due to the notes that I talk about up there, that the foreign funds year to date is about 1 billion. So top buyer were Public Bank and Maybank, and in the CIMB CGS report telling the customer. So this is why the market shake out. But right now on the FKLI chart, which is the Malaysian future chart, we are seeing uptrust, a sign of weakness to come. So make no surprises if we do see profit taking going to next week in here. The market, if you notice from the KLCI, has moved considerably up since the green Pentagon. So it pays dividend to at least share your Robie chart with your friends and colleagues who want to know more about the market in here. You could see this market heading up to 1605, 1607. This is where you're likely to see the resistance, which is part and parcel of our peak valley lines, which we will be releasing to the members this coming weekend. A new indicator from our plugin to showcase how much can this market go higher. All right. So on top of that, you can see the market participation of the foreign funds definitely has shrunk over the years. And that's why, if you notice from this junction we are talking about here, whenever a foreign fund sell, our market will tend to collapse and go through a sell-off. So we've seen way back in January, and this number in here is hitting low going back to 2010 because of the, what do you think? Is the investing environment favorable in the Malaysian market? Yes or no? Definitely no. And the Johor election is definitely coming up. I think the nominations are coming up in end of this month or early March in here, and we would like to see the outcome of the Johor, which will give you a window to the general election 15 in here. Now let's move on to our next news. Next news is on semiconductors, which is the technology stock, which is a favorite for many of our audience who are watching in here. You do know that I'm a big component supporter of the tech stocks and the growth in semiconductor. You're not only hearing from me, but the other broker houses are also pulling that the semiconductor is the way to go, and same thing that we are doing in here. So semiconductors is still feeling the kind of shortage. Growth continue to be there, but the TA research in this report talks about the possibility of three stocks that they are recommending, and let's go through one of them. The first one is the MPI. Now this does make a very, very good proposition why you want to take a look at it. And if you can see also Inari is in there, but I didn't show you Inari chart. We can just quickly bring out Inari chart just on top of me here, so you can see my full page full of charts. Okay, and if you look at charts, Inari in here, we are looking also similar picture. This is on top of me, just Inari, and you have MPI. All these are building up a nice space. But of course, we don't want to be buying and averaging down. We want to see what do you want to see? We want to see a green pentagon. We want to see some pickup on the stocks here that you see on the volume here. So that's why we really recommend all our members and all the public who is listening right now to pick up price and volume so you can understand a bit more. And so PE, which is a base target of 33 times PE for MPI at 60 ringgit. So right now MPE is only less than 40 ringgit. So that's about 30% upside. And let's look at the next one is Unisem. Now Unisem TA research reiterated a buy call at 5 ringgit. Again, 5 ringgit is all-time high based on 30 times PE. And also we have Elsoft, which is less than 1 ringgit, 118. So it does look out from me. The Inari may look to be a good buy, but again, you want to be checking out the green pentagon before you do anything in here. And of course, switching the watch list, putting into your watch list, that would awesomely tell you when the green pentagon comes. So make sure you can just check it out through our SMARTRobie apps, and that will put you in a much better position. All right, let's move on to our next sector that we talk about, will be oil and gas. Now, Dialog posts a higher second quarter, which is rose to 127 million previously from 121 million here. Now, compared to the other sectors, for pretty much of what we've seen for the oil and gas, the other hibiscus, all has run a lot, but Dialog hasn't run that much yet. And this is also due to the so-called profit hasn't really turned into significant, despite we see the big rise in the crude oil prices, partly because Dialog is a storage, oil tanker storage in here. So let's take a look at the Dialog. Looking at this fundamental in here. All right, and for those of you who have couple of stocks that you want me to look at, do pencil in there on the comment. I'll be happy to look at them too, and if you have them, great. So if you look at Dialog, let's look at the fundamentals in here, and you can definitely see Dialog fundamentals are not so good, right? You only pay 1% dividend, PE of 13 times, but the ROE of 11, slightly doing better than the sector average in here. Really a big cap stock, 16 billion in here. And right now it's still considered to be a bit expensive. So having said that, it has turned green pentagon, but remember, we got the old resistance on top there, likely to see some sort of resistance if you are seeing the Ukraine war, which does set up the thematic how much or how high can oil prices go. But I do think that the next 3 to 4 days, we will see a retreat on the crude oil prices in here. Okay, now let's move on to the next news, which is Duo Pharma, which is a pharmaceutical maker. Net profit actually dropped to 15 million from 16 million in here, but noted that Duo Pharma, from the chart that you see on this side of the chart here, it is holding up at the resistance of 162 in here, and this is also due to the, despite profit is net profit 65 up from 58 million, but revenue climbed to 639 million from 569. So they're still doing well, but why isn't this stock going higher? Now a take from is to look at the pharmaceutical businesses in the US market. Check out the US sector in here, and you will notice the healthcare sectors are toning down a bit due to the likelihood of the Omicron proving to be a less damaging condition to a hospitalization than it is. So usually a lot of these stocks does take a cue from the US market, and that's why we always encourage our member to have a good feel of the sector rotation, a sector, and that way no surprises why a sector do well and a sector don't do well, rather than just looking purely from a chart standpoint. Next, we have the TM revenue continue to grow, remain intact in the coming years, and it has certainly turned green pentagon in here. All right, so right now TM just turned green at 510 in here and came down for a long downtrend. You can see from there, and the research report has it a buy call with a target price of 691, almost close to about 7. A lot of room to move up from here from a very low base in here. Let's check out the dividend yield, whether this is something members or the public would like to hold this. Go on to stock fundamentals, switching to a wider chart here, and you could see right there, it does pay a dividend of 2.64%. A pretty good yield, I have to say. Now let's move on to the US market, which we did talk about earlier on. The Dow Jones, oil prices has slipped, Dow Jones continued to rise, and the Russian troop has already left. So I do think that the US market bottom is almost there. We are right at the bottom in there, and it's actually a good time. Even on the charts, we have the red pentagon, and you have the support here at 4350, right? The 4350 S&P 500 level in here, but we might have to wait for the green pentagon if you're a beginner. But those of you who know how to buy using some of the masterclass setup in here, do check it out on this chart here for that. So let's move on to the next. Is the stock that of interest is Viacom CBS, has changed its name in here, and Viacom CBS also turned green pentagon, and this was a day early on, but last night Viacom CBS, let's take a look at Viacom CBS, switching to the KL chart here, and VIAC, and you can see coming from a low base, that's turning very nice. It has sort of turned up. It's been updated already, 15th of February, and you can see that has closed above that. Now on the SGX side, stock to watch for are UOB, Lipo Healthcare, MLT, and Fraser. But the stocks that I really like it here, it's UOB, U11, and it pretty much mimic what is the Singapore chart is doing. If you look at the STI in here compared to KLCI, we already hit resistance. So when you hit the resistance, likely something like here, then the market will pull back 1 or 2 weeks, and after the market KLCI pullback, will we hit for a new high like what we've seen over here for the Singapore market? The banking stock tend to do well in Singapore. That will lead to the STI climbing higher. Now on the STI, you can see the difference, right? This is the UOB U11, almost identical, because the banking stock are the big benchmark of the Singapore market. So with the interest rate tend to be rising, and that's why we are getting this market right now. Now revisiting the trade idea that we have, Hector, Coastal, MBSB, and Genting Malaysia. So let's bring out our indicator in here, and do share our video in your timeline if you feel that what we do here will help you a great deal. Yeah. Now the first stocks that we have is Hector. Now bear in mind what you see in there is the peak valley. Okay, peak valley indicator, which you will get a copy of this purple and red, and also the market stages. And we are forming up the trading rules for those of you who will be joining us in our plugin to even trade better, have a discretion, knowing how much to take profit, maximizing your reward, minimizing your risk. So you can see from here, on Hector Healthcare, we hit 46%. Last round also hit 43, 54. So it's already there, red pentagon will come up very soon. Red pentagon will come up very soon already. So this is a way where we try to use the previous back testing of the peak and valley, which I did talk about last Saturday in here. So check out the peak valley in here, and the market move back. You can see here is 164, right? And you have a double top here. So that probably tell you, hitting the red line we already hit. Take some profit, move on and so forth, but we will keep it as a suggestion to see in the coming weeks. Now next we have that is Coastal. Let's take a look at Coastal too. And you can see Coastal have a double in here, hits it, but didn't hit to go up another 36%, 132% in here. So right now we are seeing it likely to retreat. Last round 36%, 101%. It's a tough call to be, but if you have enough profit and long term of the oil prices may come back a bit lower, so I may take even more profit on that. MBSP. Okay, MBSP continue to move straight up in a nice line here, 26%. Last round we had big movement, 12%, 14% in here, 11%, 22%. So the old resistance is here. So let's get a bit more roof. And again, all depends on how well the foreign funds are buying public bank and also Maybank. If they are buying many of those stocks, you can see MBSE, which is a component of the financial sector, will also move up. And last but not least is Genting. So Genting hit 10%, and you can see double bond. This is a nice pullback in here. Trend still going up. You can see the 4 bars of the market stages sticking above the green line here, which is still okay. It dipped back a bit here. This is a nice pullback. You can wait for 1 bar of a green here before you, if you want to buy some more Genting. And going forward with the market reopening and also the border, I think the Genting Malaysian share will definitely benefit a lot from our border reopening. Okay, and also don't forget on the pinned comment that we have a survey for all our members, and for those of you who is listening, do feel free to give us your feedback how we can improve our breakfast show so we can help you to do better and much well in the coming days. I'd like to hear your comments, so fill up the comment on the Google feedback form and let me know. I'd like to hear what you have to say in here. Just add the pinned comment. All right, let's move on to the next we have is the watch list, right, which we've been promoting in here. And of course today being an intermediate one, you can go to KLCI. We want to go over to ST daily charts, switching to a wider chart here, and you can see FBI, DG, Taan. We got lots of great shares in there, but what we are looking for today is a new addition to our February ST2 shares. ST2 shares are stage 2 shares, switching to February, and we have Taan. Remember Genting was 8th of February when it turned green. Taan actually turned green pentagon on the 31st of January. So let's bring up Taan here. So Taan, you can see 31st January. But of course, if you have gone in way Taan, bila masuk December, run your profit. Right? Remember the ATR stop loss still above the ATR stop loss. Those of you are longer term, it will give you a 51% return, a 5,000 ringgit, almost 2,500 ringgit. Okay, so that's why it's important to use some of the tools that we recommend to put you in a great spot and able to track that this market can go how much in here. Old high 350, now it's a new high 427, and do take note, it is already in the above the danger zone. So very quickly the market can snap back. Like I said before, the oil prices snap back, this thing can snap back too. So meanwhile, enjoy it, take some profit if you want to, but Taan we are definitely in. Again, this is a stage 2 shares right in here, there will be pullback, but the plantation shares has probably have some sort of impact in the coming days. But right now, the market has sort of priced in the last move in here. And sorry, let's go in and also key in the what we call our target price, our likely resistance. So go to TA, Ta'an, and let's look at the trading plan, which we want to take our resistance 4 ringgit 50 cent. Yeah, 4 ringgit 50 cent, which is not bad. Okay, 450. And our support, oh, sorry about that. Okay, 4 ringgit 50 cent. And exit strategy will be the support S1, S2, which is 23, and S3, 369. Okay, 369 is way down. 370, all right, 370 and 425. So go to watch list. You go over to February and you set up the alert. So it will be 450 and 326. Okay, and this would be the February 16 trade idea. Okay, save that and close it. So you can see right now we have already set up for Ta'an. So if it does hit that, you will get a notification, and that's something you want to be doing that if you are active. Now remember, all the stocks that we talk about the trade idea in here is for 30 to 60 days. Okay, 30 to 60 days. So if you have got in January, it's still valid at least until March, and after March it doesn't go anywhere, please do something about it. All right, this is definitely not a buy and hold kind of situation in here. All right, let's move on to the next topic. Is the coming agenda that we have set up in here. Prepare for the next big move for KLSE and US market. So check it out in here tonight. We're talking about the right stock with the best TA and FA, and featuring the best combination of SMARTRobie as well as VSA 360. Make sure you check it out tonight, and you're going to see how we're going to be using it in here. And not to forget our free market conference with the activation of your SMARTRobie monthly pass on March the 12th. Great speaker, great Wyckoff VSA guru in here, Ramon Bogomozu. You can check it out, and he is a adjunct professor from the Golden State University, and he is the student of Professor Hank Pruden, who passed away recently. So these are very big names in the world of Wyckoff. So make sure you check it out on this free conference in here, and it's available now, so do register in here. And Dr. Gary too, which is a top psychologist in his field. I highly respect him. I have to say I'm also a big fan of Dr. Gary's work in here. And not to forget the stocks Kellington, which I have made considerable amount and have made me wealthy over the years. So he will be talking a lot on the shortage of semiconductors. And not to forget Mr. Kamki, all right, from the Macquarie in here. Lots of opportunity in the market. And of course, this coming weekend is our masterclass that we'll be doing, February Intake 2022 in here. For those who have not registered, we still have a couple of more seats in there. If you want to upgrade from plug-in to a masterclass, check out and do let Zach know. Lots of benefit in here. As we said before, we still have our monthly installment payment, and we believe the money that you invested, you can make it up 10 times more. But you just have to take my word. And you can see we've been with this channel with you for almost the last 3 to 4 years, even starting COVID, we are still here. All right, and let's move on to the stock chart here that we have, right? And we will be looking a couple of stocks. If you have any stocks that you want me to look at, do let me know. Okay, Alex wanted to join the group. Yep, sure. There is a number you can call us, 0102669761. Anything that you want to, whether it is a free group or the plug-in group or the masterclass, we have all those available for you in here. The more the merrier, okay? And let's take a look at it. If you have any stocks, do pencil those in. I'm happy to look at it in here. Ku asked about the peak and valley. It will be given out this weekend. Okay, it will be given out this weekend. On Monday, I'm going to be showcasing you on during our live trading for our masterclass member, and as well as also Wednesday. Remember, on Monday, this Monday we were trading the FCPO, right? And over the last 20 minutes, we make about 600 ringgit. All right, so we can use the market stages plus the trade setup, right? And just for trading 20 minutes on FCPO, which is really part and parcel of our market in here. We can see CPO has moved up a lot in here, and we want to assist you. Of course, going back to it, we always find that students should back test it first using the TradingView platform as a training ground, and not until you make money on the paper trading before you go on to trade with real money. We advocate that entirely in here. So it's just like you're doing a lot of flight simulation here. Give yourself some time to learn about the market, just like many of our coaches and myself do. Okay, any stocks that you want me to particularly look at, I'll be happy to look at. Or any general comment in here. And not to forget, our market conference on the 12th of March, which is the Wyckoff VS and the new path to stock market analysis. Check it out, our market conference. It's a half-day conference. Won't take too much of your time. We'll start at 9. We'll finish by 1 o'clock in here. And of course, do also subscribe to our YouTube channel in here for all stock tips, stock educational matters, as well as fundamentals approach to the market. It's all in our YouTube channel in here. And don't forget our Telegram chat room for all information leading to our market conference, leading to a lot of the free tutorial and Zoom session in here. And I do hope you can share this Telegram trading idea URL with your friends and colleagues so more of them will enjoy it too. Okay, let me see. Now, if there's no stocks, thank you for watching, and I'll see you tonight on our live Facebook in here. Do give us a review on our Facebook in here if you've done a good job in here. With that, I'll see you tonight. Bye-bye.